Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself, James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself, James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going better than fantastic as well. Today, I wanted to make a video answering a question that was asked by a subscriber. And it's basically, how did I become independent after my mother kicked me out of the home when I was young? And what would I tell myself looking back at it as the person I am today? And first I want to say, thank you for the question. I appreciate you asking and being a part of this channel. But to answer these questions, I first need to let you know, I sadly moved out with Susie from my family home. And I think this is where the trouble starts for most of us that grew up with a narcissist parent or parents. I really had no discernment skills and who was really in my corner and who wasn't. Yes, I knew when someone was overly being mean to me. But I was thrown off when someone was super nice and then mean to me. Then nice again. And sadly that's where most of us really trained ourselves up to really take our codependency to the next level. Because we had no one. And then all of a sudden here's this person that comes along to be our friend. Or to act like they are the best spouse in the world. And that they really love us. And it's because of that we ignore the now obvious red flags. One of them being the sweet mean cycle. Or the narcissist do tests that happen. And that's pretty much what happened to me. Susie pretended to feel sorry for me. She said she wanted to be with me. She cried and made me feel like she really cared and she really wanted to be with me. However, what was really happening was Susie was seeing this as her chance to isolate me and get me in a situation where I needed her, or so I thought. You see, there were things I could have done where I could have made it on my own. Barely, but I could have done it. But I just didn't know. And I think that is the problem. Let me give you an analogy. Car shopping. Most people that have a wise mother and father, they usually end up getting a first car that works pretty good. Even if it's a cheap car. And the reason is because this person's parent or parents have gone through a lot in their lives. And they've done a fair share of car purchases to know what's a good deal and what's not. What car will last a long time and which one won't. But happens when you don't have that kind of help? Well, in this instance I didn't. And my first car purchases were utter disasters. Utter disasters. However, now I'm pretty good at picking out cars and knowing how to find good deals and a car that will serve me well. But at the time of my first car purchases I was a mess. Well, the same goes with moving out on your own. Where to move and how to move. You see, I felt so blessed at the time. That I felt like I had someone that cared about me during this difficult time in my life. Even though this person never really loved me at all. I even told her several times that it was a bad idea and that I didn't want to make her life hard. But she insisted repeatedly. And it was that thing that made me think. You know, why am I fighting this? Maybe I should just move out with her and things will be okay. But they weren't okay. Actually, the very first day of us moving in, her attitude began to change for the worse. And my heart began to sink. This again goes back to narcissists loving to have some sort of power over your life. They want you to feel like they are helping you. This goes back to the friend thing I was talking about a few videos back. A friend that is a narcissist might not show themselves and wait for the time you need help. And they will come to you as the best friend with an answer to your problem. You might even say, no, that's okay. I will figure things out another way. And they will insist and insist you take their help. And then you will start to think how you are. That when you help someone you do it from your heart. So maybe they are doing the same. But then later on you find out that's not the case. They now use this help they gave you as a license to mistreat you. So what could I have done to become more independent back then? Not a thing, because there's no way for me to have known the things I know now. However, this is the reason why those that have gone through this mess need to tell their stories. Because there might be someone somewhere right in the same situation we are talking about right now. What I wish I would have done is I wish I would have, the moment my mom told me I had to leave, I would have found a super cheap room for rent somewhere. That was much cheaper than the average apartment I moved into with Susie. And have my problem at least somewhat solved before Susie or anyone else could try to offer me a solution. But would that have made my life any better? I don't know. You see, my problem was education. My mother was a narcissist mother that sabotaged my education. So I was really stuck. As I've said before, money isn't everything. But at that time, I wish I had some so I could have just up and moved easily on my own. And truthfully, that's what some do that have decent educations. They might move clear across the country to be away from their narcissistic family and past. They will still make tons of mistakes, but they will be away from their family of origin while doing so. But for me, I studied my tail off. And I was still getting nowhere. There wasn't much I could do. And not much others out there in the same situation can do either. But again, education. If this information was out there when I was younger, I would have started to try to figure out an escape plan instead of trying to fix my family. That's the main thing right there. Because if you are working on a plan to escape, you might come up with something in your favor. It may not be perfect, but it might be something to get you to the next stage in your life. But the narcissist parent or parents don't want that for you. They want to keep you spinning round and round. And my thing was trying to fix things at home. For my mom to finally see my pain. For my brother to see what she was doing to him. And if I can go back and tell myself anything, it would be: stop trying to save your family. Save yourself. Knowledge is power. If I would have been educated when I was young about what my mother and brother's problems were all about, I could have made better life choices for myself. That might have led me down a different road of life. With a little bit more success, I might have sought help in the right areas of life. Maybe there could have been someone that could have mentored me with job skills when I was younger. Or someone that could have helped me with my education. I don't know. But that's why I do what I do and I say what I say. Because I hope someone will figure things out a lot faster than I figured things out. You see, when we are talking about being independent, it can go the other way too. Susie had money. She had parents that did really well for themselves. She had a monthly amount of money they used to give to her with a credit card too. And all of the above. But even though she had all of that, she still wasn't independent. Her parents' narcissism wanted her to need to accept that money so they could have a hand in her life and could tell her what to do when they wanted her to do it. It all starts when you're young, in both of our situations with my mother. And with Susie, her mother and father both. And when you're young, you're really at the mercy of your parent or parents. So there's really not much you can do. You really are stuck. But again, that's the reason for education. Someone might be in that same boat of needing to move out like myself. And they might make wiser choices. They might say, well, it sounds nice, this person is acting like they care. But this could go really bad too. Maybe I might just get a room for rent for now and see how this relationship goes. If the red flags pop up, you know that moving out on your own was the right move. And slowly the independence grows. And the earlier the better. Many of us didn't learn these lessons until way later. So I guess I would tell myself, don't try to save your family. Save yourself. and I would have looked into things I didn't know much about, like little rooms for rent and things like that, so I wouldn't have needed to take the help of Susie, when she really didn't help out to begin with, as I ended up paying for most of our expenses together anyway. But that's another video for another time. But if I would have moved out on my own, I wouldn't have had to go from one narcissist to another, which is the story of many of our lives. Well, that's all I have for now. I would like to know what you think. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Also, thank you for your support. I really mean it. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.